Hello and welcome to Dopamine, a monthly podcast addressing topics in psychology and human development. I'm your host, Martine Rivas, and today I'll be discussing the effects of Alzheimer's disease on families. Before I talk about its effects, we need to go over what Alzheimer's disease is. According to the National Institute of Health, Alzheimer's disease is a brain disorder that slowly destroys memory and thinking skills, and eventually the ability to carry out the simplest tasks. When a person has Alzheimer's, their brain literally shrinks and their brain cells slowly die off. It is extremely painful to watch a family member or loved one who is suffering from Alzheimer's disease. The person with the disease will start remembering less and less as time goes on. Their inability to remember can demonstrate itself in a number of ways, ranging from something small like forgetting where they left their keys to something big like forgetting a deceased loved one has passed away. Because of how serious this disease is, it can have severe physical and emotional effects on families. One of the physical effects on families is caretaking duties. Families will either have to hire a caregiver or take on the role themselves. There are a lot of responsibilities in taking care of an Alzheimer's patient, such as getting the groceries, preparing meals for them, making sure they have taken their medication, dressing them, and sometimes even bathing them. Additionally, they may have to deal with their patients' seemingly random angry outbursts. Furthermore, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's disease can put a really big strain on a family's bank account because of expenses such as regular doctor's visits, bills for transportation, a certified caregiver, groceries, medication, and more. According to the National Institute of Health, as the disease gets worse, a person may try to hide financial problems to protect his or her independence. Or, the person may not realize that he or she is losing the ability to handle money matters. This can be stressful to their families, especially if the person with the disease is a parent. Now let's talk about some of the emotional effects. The overall stress for the patient, their family, and friends can be incredibly overwhelming. The patient loses their sense of self, and family and friends must watch the person they care about slowly forget who they are and what's happening around them. As a result, families and friends of people with Alzheimer's disease tend to experience immense grief. While the challenges of having a loved one with Alzheimer's disease are significant, there are ways to cope. The first way is simple: just reach out for support from others. Some people get embarrassed or feel like asking for help is making them vulnerable, but it's never a bad idea to ask someone for help when you're struggling. Another essential coping strategy is to establish a care team consisting of a doctor, a registered nurse, a caretaker, and a therapist, or just a trusted individual who is supportive and willing to listen. Alzheimer's disease impacts the lives of 5.8 million Americans and their families, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Particularly because of its prevalence, it is crucial to recognize and understand its dangers and effects. Thank you for listening. Again, my name is Martine Rivas, and stay tuned for the next month's episode of Dose of Dopamine.